Fighters Pass is full of third parties, and today we talk about double third-party characters. What's happening, my spooky block buddies? Welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content's League Speak here in Blocktober. It's getting spooky, it's awesome. Welcome, you guys. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today. Today, I wanted to take the time and talk about something that a lot of you guys have been requesting, which is that I talk about Smash Brothers characters and third-party characters at that might have more partners, right? Third parties that have more represented characters in Super Smash Bros. And of course, this is already happening right now, and it would be even crazier if we could predict who the next newcomers are in this Fighters Pass, Fighter 5, and of course beyond this, if we know that more characters are coming from the same company. So are they introducing more new different companies, kind of like SNK is doing right now with Terry Bogard, or are we introducing some characters that we actually might know and might be able to predict? Are characters coming back from assist trophy status and becoming fighters? Well, all in that and more in this new episode of Blocked Content's League Speak, and of course it is Blocktober, so we always give a little bit of a spooky hint to every episode here, and we're going to be doing a lot more animation stuff as well. If you guys love the Banjo and Kazooie videos, please stay tuned to the channel as well, because something really fun is coming up. And for those of you guys who like giveaways, we are giving away a Piranha Plant plushie at 50k and this beautiful What's Happening My Block Buddies t-shirt at 40k, and we're really closely there, so please subscribe to Blocked Content right now if you watch the videos, and of course comment down below to enter for one of the giveaways. So alright guys, let's head right on into this, and I just wanted to start really quickly with Capcom. Now Capcom is one of the third parties that I think has the most promise for other characters, because Capcom is just one of these developers that I totally love. I think that as a publisher they make some great games, they have a really great IP and really great characters, and they've all kind of been in these huge crossovers. You know, if you think about Marvel vs. Capcom and stuff like that, and the X-Zone kind of, you know, crossover world, I think that all these fighters really have a chance to be in Smash Brothers because they've proven that they can work in that world, in that crossover world. Now, of course, in Super Smash Bros., we already have the holy grail of Capcom characters, which is, of course, Mega Man. And Mega Man is one of my favorite characters in video game history. I don't really love the way that he works in Smash for Wii U and Smash Ultimate, but I really appreciate that he's in there and that he's so well represented with the Final Smash and all that kind of stuff, even having assist trophies and all that good stuff. Now, of course, next to Mega Man, we also have Ryu and Ken from Street Fighter, which is amazing in its own right, a character and a Echo Fighter for this third-party character, which is crazy. And of course we have Simon and Richter, who also basically do that same thing there, but for Capcom it's really great to have Ryu and Ken there and Mega Man there. So if we talk other characters for Capcom, I think of course yesterday we talked about Leon S. Kennedy and characters like Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Claire. All these characters could make a lot of sense coming to Smash Brothers because of moveset potential, and just because the Resident Evil franchise is so darn huge and it could really benefit to happen in Smash. But another character that a lot of you guys have mentioned in the comments could definitely appear in Smash Brothers now that we have Bayonetta and characters like Joker is Dante from, of course, Devil May Cry. It's a character that has worked really well in the past within crossovers. The Marvel vs. Capcom games even had Dante from Devil May Cry, and it worked with like Rocket Raccoon of all characters, and that was super fun to see. And of course the character has a couple of different looks. Even the character has been in PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale, but not as the favorite incarnation of the fans, so I think there's a lot to make right with the character, and if they do it well, and have all those crazy air combos, and the gun combat and all that kind of stuff, I think that Dante could be a really interesting foe, and definitely, you know, a top-tier kind of fighter if you do it well. And of course, the cute wolf Amaterasu from the Okami franchise would make an incredible newcomer, especially, you know, being among the, you know, very few characters that actually have 4 feet and that run on them, kind of like Ivysaur does and the Duck Hunt Dog in Smash Brothers. I feel like this character could definitely bring a lot of originality and a lot of cool moveset potential to the game, and has of course already appeared in Crossover Fighters, which is super awesome. Other characters that I feel could come into Smash Brothers from Capcom could be Phoenix Wright. I think that a weird moveset for this character could come into play, right, with objection and stuff like that. I think it would be really cool, and I think they would really stretch their creative muscles with a character like that. And even Arthur, a character that I think has a lot of, history with Nintendo and is actually quite iconic if you just look at him and have all the iconography of that franchise and, battling in your shorts and stuff like that. I definitely could see that happening. So my bet would be on Resident Evil for Capcom, but you never really know what they want to choose from that. If they do another Capcom character, which one do you think they will choose? Now, Konami is, of course, very well represented in Smash Bros. 2. Not only do they have Snake, which is a huge deal coming back because, of course, Snake's creator, which is Hideo Kojima, is now doing Death Stranding and doesn't work for Konami anymore. Very famously had this big falling out, and now he's doing really well with this. I can't wait for Death Stranding. It looks incredible. And now we also have Simon and Richter in Super Smash Bros. So that's another original character and an Echo Fighter, or both echoes of each other, which is what Sakurai likes to say. And of course, they have assist trophies in the form of the ninja, the cyborg ninja, and Dracula, which is crazy cool. I think that having all this represented in Smash Bros. Is a very, very huge deal because it means that Konami is definitely playing ball with having their content in Smash Bros. Now, if you think about a character like Bomberman, I could really see that becoming a character from the assist trophy status. I feel like that's one of the exceptions, along with something like Isaac from Golden Sun, I feel like could be upgraded to a character status. That I think would work really, really well. Would actually work wonders to be in Smash Brothers with that, sort of status. A lot of people were very sad that Bomberman didn't make it into Smash Brothers. Now, Alucard, Dracula becoming a character, I feel, the boss status that Dracula has in Smash Ultimate is already pretty great. Alucard, of course, being a very awesome assist trophy, and I think Gray Fox would work as a character. I'd love to see Raiden, but of course that time is a little bit past now. I think Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 4 was pretty much the ultimate incarnation of the character that would have worked in Smash Brothers. An electricity-based moveset. We don't really have that in Smash Brothers, but I don't feel like that's going to happen anytime soon anymore. And if you think about other Konami characters, please let me know in the comments. There are a lot of great choices, even if you think far, far back to their history within video games. Now, Square Enix, this is where it gets interesting, right? Because what are you going to do? Are you going to dig deeper into Final Fantasy and get more Final Fantasy main characters from different incarnations of the series? Are you going to go more into the Dragon Quest route and get characters from there? Are you going to do Kingdom Hearts and get Sora in Smash Brothers finally? Are you going to do villains and do Sephiroth? I think that would be a really great idea. And some people are even very hyped for a character like Slime to appear in Smash Brothers as a playable fighter. I don't think that will happen, especially with them being in Heroes, victory screen, and of course Slime being basically a stage background animation, which already looks cool, but yeah, I don't think that there's a character laid out for that one just yet. And of course, we have to talk about Geno, because Geno, it's the talk of the town. Everybody loves to talk about Geno being a character in Super Smash Bros. Because it's a highly requested fan character, kind of like how King K. Rool and Ridley were back in the day, right? And that actually happened in Smash Bros., which is a huge deal. So yeah, chances for Geno are actually higher than they've ever been before, I feel. And of course, people like to debunk it and say, yeah, Geno has a portrait in Smash Bros. Geno has a Spirit Fighter. Geno has all this kind of stuff. But the truth of the matter is, we haven't gotten the Mii costume yet, and of course Nintendo very famously took down 2 Mario RPG music tracks online for copyright reasons, and there were 2 tracks that basically coincided with Geno's appearance in those games. So yeah, would it be a character like Zack Fair, Tara Branford? Would it be Slime, Sephiroth, Sora? Would it be, someone else from Final Fantasy? Would it be Geno? Please let me know what your Square character is that you would like to see if they have more characters there. And of course, in terms of Microsoft, there's basically 2 characters to really talk about, right? We have Banjo-Kazooie, which is a huge deal, and I think it's great. If you do other rare characters, Joanna Dark comes to mind. I don't think Conker from Conker's Bad Fur Day would make a great Smash character. It doesn't really fit with that with that tone, with that childish tone anymore, and they don't want to revert the character back to what it used to be. I think that if you think about Microsoft, it'll either be Steve from Minecraft or it will be Master Chief from the Halo franchise. Both those characters are great. Both those characters have a huge history in video games and shaping what video games are to the masses. So I would actually like to see both of them. I think Master Chief a little bit more because I grew up on that Halo, and I totally love the idea for a moveset for him with sticky plasma grenades, with all this different alien tech. I think it would be great to have Covenant weapons in there, but also rocket launchers, maybe a final Smash that's like the Spartan Laser, or certain vehicles like the Warthog. And of course, for Steve from Minecraft, there's a lot of creative avenues you could go down to create things around you, to use the pickaxe, to use a sword, all that kind of stuff. So I definitely think that, it leads credence to both these two characters, right? Now, we want to talk Sega, right? Sega is very interesting to be in Smash Bros. Because we have the biggest mascot of all time, and that is Sonic the Hedgehog, which is super awesome. But also, if you think about Sega, there are maybe more characters that they could get in there. They aren't nearly as popular. Think about characters like Alex Kidd or II, Super Monkey Ball character, or even Amigo from the Samba de Amigo series. You could even go the route of Shenmue characters like Ryo Hazuki and other characters from different franchises like Space Channel 5, Yulala. I think Billy Hatcher would be fun, but that character hasn't been relevant for a very long time. So in terms of Sega, there's a whole lot you can do in terms of newcomers, but I actually think they might add another character from the Sonic franchise to it, because Sonic franchise is so huge, and just having Sonic as a playable character, but even Konami having 2 characters, and Capcom having 3 characters, I definitely think the Sonic franchise deserves at least like Tails to be there, or maybe Eggman as a very creative character in this vehicle. I think that they deserve another fighter, and I would have said Shadow if he isn't already an assist. I would love to see Shadow become a full-fledged Echo Fighter or character. That would be amazing. And of course, in terms of Smash Brothers, we need to talk about Bandai. Bandai Namco, of course, they developed the Smash series right now. They started developing Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS, and now they also work on Ultimate, and they're doing great work, and it's a really good thing that they added them, because there are so many more mechanics that make a lot of sense in the fighting game community that I think really was to the benefit of Namco Bandai coming on board for Smash Brothers Ultimate. Now, think about that. Think about Tekken. Think about characters like Heihachi or Jin. I think it would make a lot of sense for characters like this to come into Smash Brothers. If you have to choose between Jin or Kazuya, I really don't know which one, but a devil form as a final Smash could work really well, and other characters from that franchise are also pretty iconic. But definitely Tekken 3 really upped it in terms of iconography and characters that will really stay with us for decades to come. I totally love the idea of Yoshimitsu in Smash Brothers as well, but I think that if they're gonna do a rep from Tekken, it'll be Heihachi, because I think that that's a character that would make a lot of sense for Smash with a moveset, with the age group. I think that that's something that's not well represented in Smash Bros. And would be cool to see, like give Ganondorf a worthy adversary there. Now the Tales series is of course huge. I think that in terms of RPGs, it's already pretty well represented in Smash Bros., but someone from the Tales series to jump into Super Smash Bros. Would be cool. Think about Tales of Phantasia on the SNES. Of course, it has a very huge, rich history with Nintendo, and I think adding something like Lloyd Irving for a Mii costume to Smash Bros. 4 was a really huge indication of where are we going for Smash. So that might happen. And Soul Calibur. Yeah, Soul Calibur is not as big as something like Tekken, but I could definitely see a character from there coming to the game. It would be totally amazing, and there are a lot of characters that would make total sense. I think of Nightmare, right? Nightmare would be a character that would be crazy, evil, but also very awesome, and have a unique moveset with this huge sword, and might even be slow, right? Not like a fast character like Cloud that has a huge sword, but a slow character with a huge sword. That'd be super cool. So I'm really curious for all of these third parties, if you guys have any characters that really gravitate towards, that you think, well, this third party definitely deserves a second one, or a third character, or even a fourth character. Well, let me know, because I really want to know what you guys' rankings are. These were just my ideas that I threw out there. And of course, leave it down below in a comment, because that comment could be featured in our next video. And today's comment question is, which character would you like to see? Now, we have a very extensive comment from our previous video about Resident Evil and a Resident Evil newcomer. And our answer comes to us from Manu Castilla, saying, I've been wanting Leon in Smash for about a year now. I'm a big Resident Evil fan, and I came up with several moveset ideas that I didn't use firearms and stuck to explosives and knives. But now I can see a pistol and maybe an SMG or shotgun being used. I honestly don't have them as high on my priority list, because I find Doomguy and Crash Bandicoot more fitting and more likely. But I have Leon as my third choice. When I think of the big RE icons, I think of 4. Leon, Chris, Jill, and Wesker. Leon is hands down my favorite. However, their combat styles are too different to make them alt costumes. Leon with Jill as an alt could make sense, as the two have a somewhat similar style, focusing on agility, kicks, and martial arts, but Chris is much bulkier and focused on a lot more brute strength. Wesker would be cool because, yeah, villains, but yeah, he has a similar issue to Chris. For now, I'll describe my ideas, provided it's Leon, and figure they can work for Jill. Moveset-wise, I thought them to be about middleweight, with a lot of kicks and knife attacks, somewhat like Joker, but different. I didn't think too many specific moves, but I thought the specials. Yeah, neutral, knife throw, simply toss the knife forward, maybe angled, quick ranged attack but not too strong. Think of it like a stronger version of Sheik's uncharged needles. Side special would be a grenade launcher, fires a round with the grenade launcher forward, which arcs slightly and explodes on contact. The round type varies between explosive, acid, and flame, either randomly or cycling or having some form of choosing. Explosive has a very big radius, but otherwise standard. Acid only hurts on direct hit, but is the strongest, and flame leaves a lingering flame for further damage, like Ness's PK Fire. Up special, grappling gun. Uses Ada Wong's grappling gun to fire it up, and it can be angled more horizontally, acts as a tether, and if it's only used on an enemy, it launches you toward them to differentiate it from Joker. Down special, at first I thought as a joke to spawn Ashley who yells Leon, but stunning enemies nearby, but yeah, if it's too stupid and doesn't fit, Jill, a better alternative is flash grenade. Drops a flash grenade a short distance that explodes like a second afterwards, briefly stunning but not damaging anyone too close, including the user, opening them for stronger attacks. Final smash would be rocket launcher. Leon grabs on a ladder hanging from a chopper, quickly climbs up as the chopper flies to the foreground. Ada gives Leon the RPG from Resident Evil 4, and the one with the red rocket he aims with the camera is over his shoulder, mimicking Resident Evil 4, and a reticle appears for him to fire the rocket for a big explosion. Then the chopper flies up off camera, and he jumps down back on stage. Well, it's meant to be for Leon, we can have Jill do the same thing too. It makes a little less sense, but it can pass. I also thought that the alts could both use different outfits they use throughout the series. Leon can use his RPD outfit from Resident Evil 2 and his brown jacket from Resident Evil 4, while Jill could use her, STARS uniform from Resident Evil 1, her civilian clothes from Resident Evil 3. There are other outfits like the ones from Resident Evil 5 and 6, but given the reception of those two games, I'd have to settle for the ones that I said, even though I love Leon's Resident Evil 6 leather jacket. Stage, I thought it could be Raccoon City streets, like right in front of the RPD station or something, and it could feature several creatures roaming around like Dracula's castle. If zombies are too much, you could have stuff like hunters, lickers, Mr. X or something, and have stuff like a car crashing or a monster actually attack the stage hazards to give a dangerous feel to the area. William Birkin and final Mr. X fights from Resident Evil 2, the Nemesis fights from Resident Evil 3, the Krauser or Sadler fights from Resident Evil 4, the Alexia battle from Code Veronica, a very underrated game because people forget it's a main title and it's among my favorites. You can also very easily make a Resident Evil themed spirit board featuring several iconic characters and some iconic creatures. Wesker can easily be the by now typical 4-star fight. So as you see, there's plenty of Resident Evil content that could fit into Smash. The series icon would be the umbrella logo, of course, and that would wrap it up. If by any chance Resident Evil comes to Smash, I'm interested to see how many of these ideas turn up to reality. Well, this was very extensive, but of course it is Blocktober, and we like to talk about all things spooky, scary, so this totally fits within our Halloween Resident Evil themed stuff that we're going for right now. So thank you so much for your comment. It was a lot of fun to read through. Great ideas. I actually think Leon's Final Smash sounds a lot like Snake's old Final Smash in Brawl. So very great ideas. I love it. I loved reading through it. So thanks everyone for commenting. These are always so much fun to do. If you want to donate something to our channel to make sure that Block Content keeps churning out videos and making animations and stuff like that, please go to patreon.com/blockedcontent and consider donating something, or join us on the live streams that we do. We're going to be playing a lot of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with Banjo and upcoming, of course, with Terry. So please stick around to the channel. Remember, if you're not yet a member of Blocked Content yet, click the subscribe button right now. Ring the bell next to it for notifications, so every time we make a new video, it'll appear right there on your screen directly, and all the news and fun you care about will be delivered daily to you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner where there's always more spooky Blocked Content. See you later.